has Mego returned as one of the top toy makers on the planet. What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, got a fun one for you. One that's really going to get the conversation started. Get the comments flowing through the video today. Has Mego returned as one of the top toy makers, or the top toy maker on the planet? We spoke about this years ago, if it was even possible for Mego to obtain such a lofty position in the toy realm with the toys that they were putting out. From the Facts of Life to Married with Children, Charlie's Angels, Cheers, Happy Days. The list goes on and on. But those days seem far, far behind Mego now, as they have basically put out hit after hit after hit of action figures. Rolling out one must-have figure after another, with more to come. And guys, I couldn't put all of them on the stage today, but we wanted to cover everything from superheroes to pop culture, icons, more fun TV show superheroes, to horror. Mego has seemed to have a question answered and an answer for every question, for every comment or naysayer, or just people in general that are on the fence with what Mego has been doing with their action figure line. Fair enough, guys. We want good action figures. We want great toys. We want great collectibles. But guys, this video is about your opinion. It's largely based on your opinion, how you feel about this. Has Mego reclaimed the #1 spot as a top toy maker? It seems like a simple question, but there are layers to it. We know NECA Toys is out there. We know Sideshow Collectibles are out there. We know Figures Toy Company is out there. But now with Mego's vast and much improved selection of action figures and characters, coupled with a price point that's extremely, extremely relatable in these days that we're living in, has that given Mego the edge? Quality doesn't seem a problem for Mego now. has Mego got back on the high horse and stake claim to the toy throne. I remember, oh my goodness, maybe 5-6 months ago, this wasn't even a topic of discussion. This wasn't a discussion that anybody wanted to have nor felt the need to have. Mego simply wasn't putting out this type of product with any consistency, I should say. Mego had their moments. They were putting out some decent figures, some fun figures, but they weren't putting them out with any consistency and in high volume. Now they're putting all of that out. They have a little something for everybody. A lot of people were on the fence about the creature from the Black Lagoon. They said, well, we've seen the MC version. We don't know if we want this one. Well, you have another set of people that says, hey, you know what? I didn't get the MC version. It's too expensive. It's too difficult to track down. I wasn't aware of it. But this creature from the Black Lagoon, 8-inch Mego figure, looks fantastic. It looks awesome. And at the end of the day, when you compare both figures, there's not much by way to differentiate those two figures. Except when you get into the price. You have a $14, $15 figure here as opposed to a $100 figure there with the MC version of this figure. And then there were talks about superheroes. Mego has more on the way. There were talks about superheroes. When will we get an 8-inch Batman figure? When will we get an 8-inch Mego Superman figure? Mego responded. And boy, did they ever respond. I was one of those naysayers. I was one of those very skeptical collectors. And being an owner of a museum and being a museum curator, I am very skeptical. I'm very particular in what I want in my museum. Whether it's toy history or not, I still want a good quality action figure. So I was very skeptical on how the new Mego DC 8-inch action figures will look. Will they be appealing to me? They were that and much more. With fantastic head sculpts, great outfits. They answered the call. I'm a kid of the 70s, the 1970s, so I remember my 8-inch Mego Superman figure. I remember my 8-inch Batman figure. These figures really answered all of my questions. They checked all the boxes for me. I know some people are out there, they say, well, the heads were still too big. We didn't like the outfits. You're going to have people that simply won't like the product. But one thing we cannot hold Mego responsible for, we can't accuse Mego of, is not trying to meet the needs of everyone to some degree or another. That was something else I was very skeptical about Mego. But they proved me wrong. They came out with a Batman action figure. They came out with a Mego Superman action figure. Flash is on the way. Another Green Lantern figure is on the way. More super villains are on the way. But that's how I feel, guys. How do you feel? Leave your comments right underneath this video in the comment section. We want to hear how you feel about this. Has Mego returned to their lofty position that they once had in the early to mid to late 1970s? Have they returned to that #1 spot? Well, if you go by horror, a lot of my collecting buddies would agree and say, yes, they have returned. The horror line of Mego 8-inch action figures has gotten much better. Way better. It's got people excited again. It's got people talking again. It's got people anticipating these action figures hitting toy store shelves, hitting toy websites. People are placing more orders now. People are willingly or more excited to part with their money, I should say, in regards to these action figures. The horror line is fantastic. Mego started the horror line with Wave 1 with that fantastic Bela Lugosi Dracula figure. And from there, it was hit and miss. And more miss than hits. Mego struggled putting out Frankenstein action figures that really appealed to the collecting community, especially Frankenstein fans that wanted a Mego Frankenstein figure that really fit the mold of what they wanted to see in regards to this monster icon. Well, Mego delivered. Now, Mego will have a Son of Frankenstein coming out shortly. And then Mego later would announce that the Hammer Dracula, the Christopher Lee likeness here, the iconic horror film production with this beautiful likeness of Christopher Lee starring in that most iconic role that's been played over and over again, but only a few has really gotten it right in my opinion. And Christopher Lee was one of those actors. Let's move him out here to the forefront here. But now you have a Mego action figure, 8-inch action figure of this figure. And people went crazy. Listen. This is one of the most popular Mego figures, horror, monster, regular figures, whatever you want to call it, he's one of the most popular. The Hammer Dracula figure is by far one of the most popular figures Mego has produced in years. Mego's thinking outside of the box. Your thoughts, guys. Your opinions. We want to hear it all, guys. Has Mego risen to the #1 top spot as a toy company? The Ultraman franchise, the Ultra 7 Ultraman franchise, especially for kids that were born in the late 1960s, the 1970s, early 1980s, that saw these TV shows and reruns syndicated, knew all about these figures. So Mego tossed its hat in the Japanese anime universe and returned to putting out some fantastic figures with this franchise. I mean, people went crazy when they found out about the Ultraman figure. I didn't think that could be, that level of excitement could be matched until Mego released the Ultra 7 8-inch action figure. They one-upped themselves in coolness, in the coolness department. This Ultra 7 figure is one of the most popular and sought after figures by Mego collectors and fans of the Ultraman franchise. Mego continues to find new ways to keep our interest, to keep us digging into our pockets and our wallets and paying out the money. But more importantly than that, Mego has kept the collecting community and the casual collector has kept their interest in what Mego's doing. Mego is relevant again. 5 months ago, I couldn't say that about Mego. 5 months ago, I don't think anybody was going to say that Mego was relevant. Poor character and action figure choices. The lack of being able to find these figures in toy stores. Well, not toy stores, in Targets, Walmarts, online. Mego has seemed to answered the majority of those questions. There's still some things that Mego needs to tighten up, but for the most part, they've answered it. And with fun figures like the Phantom of the Opera, the Lon Chaney Phantom of the Opera figure, the Red Mask of Death, just a fun figure. Teen Wolf, another surprisingly hit by Mego. I was very surprised with the reception that this figure got. A fun figure from a very fun movie. Another sign that Mego is really listening to its fan base. Trying new things, trying fun things, exciting things. Another one of my favorites, The Silence of the Lamb, Hannibal Lecter, and a straight jacket. Something for everyone, guys. Where will Mego go from here? Can they continue to outdo themselves? Can they continue to produce hit after hit after hit? Are they on a downfall? Will they start to fall off? Have they reached their peak? We don't know. But what we do know right now is that Mego has definitely opened up the conversation, if nothing else, to at least talking about if they are one of the top toy companies or the top toy company right now at this very minute. Now, they may not be 2 weeks from now or a month from now, but have they earned that right today? Inquiring minds wants to know, guys. Will let you be the judges, guys? Will let you have the deciding viewpoint and decision? More fun on the way, guys. You know the routine. God bless. Stay safe. And keep collecting.